Hey, how's it going, guys? I am jumping back at you again. It is, let's check. It is 12:10 a.m. and I have been studying some anatomy and histology the past couple hours. I just wanted to take a little break and talk to you guys, see how things are going. And maybe talk a little bit about appreciation. Because if studying anatomy for 3 hours on a Friday night has shown me anything, it is that you should really, really appreciate the things, the skeleton and the muscles inside your body, because it is really insane when you start to just study these things, how a simple movement like moving your hand up or your arm up takes so many muscles, so many bones to do, and it's just crazy. And now, on a side note, this just popped into my head, and maybe answer this question by shooting us a little direct message on the social media or an email or something. But is, like, your brain, your internal organs, are those protected by your skeleton, or are they trapped by your skeleton, right? Is the brain really protected by the skeleton, or is it trapped? So, answer those questions if you want. These are my thoughts at 12:10 in the morning, or at night. I would say it's still night then. It's still night at 12:10. So yeah. Yeah, a little bit about appreciation and things like that. So, appreciating yourself, because you are a very, very complex being that over millennia has developed into what you are now. Appreciate that it's really only 46 little chromosomes that created you, and the time, effort that it took for, your mom to carry you, and then those chromosomes and the pieces of DNA and little proteins to build you. You should really appreciate that you're here and you're living this human experience, and you're living with others and things like that. It's really something to behold, I'd say. And I think coming off that last episode, we're talking about appreciation of education and learning. I think it's important to understand that we have so much, and that we should really care about that, and just bask in it, if nothing else. Not really complain about the things that we have, or more importantly, the things that we don't. Because, things here, I'm starting again with the you-knows. I can't name any other episodes, but the things that we have are just things. There it is again. It's really unconscious. It just pops out. The things that we have are things, and they're not gonna travel with us to the next place, wherever that may be. But yeah, I think I told you in one of the episodes, I told you that story about Alexander the Great, what he wanted to do for his burial on his deathbed, and he said that he wanted to lay out one of his 3 wishes. This one, I can't remember which one it was, but one of his 3 wishes was to take all of the loot and stuff, the gold and the prizes of war, and he wanted to lay them out at the edges of the path to his grave, and he wanted himself to be presented by he wanted to lay down on a bored or whatever it was, and he wanted to be taken to his grave by the doctors of his age. And he was showing, and back then, it was when I first created the thing, it was more to kind of finish the episode when I introduced that story in that episode. I can't remember. I think it was Text to Life episode 2, and it was more to, I had it there just to finish off the episode and kind of connect it to something else. But now, as in the process of actually studying medicine, you can really, you can take a whole new light on that, because Alexander the Great, for one, he wanted to show people that these material things are not coming with him. That's why he set him at the foot of the path, and he just left them there, and he showed that, I'm leaving, these things are staying. And then the other thing was laying on that board exposed to the crowds that would have seen him, and being taken to that grave with by the medical professionals. He showed that I am internally human, and I am human now in death, and even the greatest pursuers of medicine of his age couldn't save him. And it's an interesting notion, if nothing else, that a man who inherited a kingdom from his father and then created an empire, a man who really, if no one else has, not, I wouldn't say right, but he has some ground to stand on, to be sort of cocky, for lack of a better word, boasty about his abilities, about what he has done. He was humbled by the campaigns and by life in general, and he appreciated it. And in his spread of Hellenistic culture, he showed, for one, he wanted to show the greatness of the culture, and spread it to an empire that wanted it gone. And on the other hand, he showed how, or he wanted to, and he wanted to spread a culture that also connected people. Because Alexander went to these different places, and I'm not sure why this is turning into a little history lesson of Alexander the Great, but let's just roll with it, right? This is the voice log, so it's all fun, and it's all an experience, right? It's all going over things that are interesting and help raise a conversation and a playground for communication. So when he did conquer these places, he would adapt to their culture. When he went to Egypt and he conquered the great lands of the pharaohs, he himself became a pharaoh. He didn't tear down Egyptian culture. If anything, he lifted it up. He became a pharaoh of the sun god, and he introduced Greek culture in that area, and he melded the two things together. And later he would conquer more and more of Persia, and a lot of his higher ups, like the generals and things like that, would marry Persian wives, and they would connect cultures and things like that. And it's a feat of just general greatness of mind, of great, the strategy and things like that, to defeat an empire so great like the Persian Empire. But it's also a feat of appreciation of humanness, to also not tear that down. Because in the everyday, when we talk about these higher ups of our time, of the past time, we always talk about them and not about the millions of people that just live their lives below them. Sometimes many, 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 many rungs below them. And they don't buy into the strife, into the pain, into the, well, they do feel pain in many cases. So let's not include pain as one of the things that they don't buy into. But they don't buy into the strife and the revenge between one civilization and another. They're just trying to live their lives and protect their families and grow. And they appreciate the little things that they have. Little things like life. Like the body that they own and the health that hopefully comes with it. So I think we do need to appreciate that. Just the little things. Because it's the little things that, when gone, we crave the most. We always cheers to health and to happiness. And it's almost just a thing you do. You just do it, because you do it. You say, without even thinking about it, "Hi, how are you?" When somebody says something to you, you just respond with usually the same thing. It's like this, going to the movie theater, and then the guy says, "Enjoy your movie," and you say, "You too." It's just ingrained in the brain to just say whatever that is. You too. Thank you too. How are you too? Things like that. And when we do that, it's not with meaning. It's just something that you have to do, or something that is merely done. And it's the same way with saying cheers to health and to happiness. And it's without any meaning most of the time, without any passion behind it. Yeah. And it's important to actually have that passion behind it and to mean things and to appreciate things. Now, as I continue to study, and I will embark on more and more studying and deeper hours of study, I do continue to appreciate the human body as what it is, and appreciate the field of medicine for what it is. So if we'll take anything from this little snippet, this little episode of Voice Logs, let's take a moment to appreciate something. It could be your family, it could be your health, it could be whatever. But appreciate something that you have in your life and take a moment to care about it. The little things. The little things that are important. So, thank you for listening, because I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you taking that little time to click the download button and play this, whatever this is, on your ride to work, on your exercise little regiment, in the bathroom, wherever it is. I appreciate that you're listening. And I hope you take something from it, because it's one thing to make something that's hopefully entertaining, and I think it's another thing altogether that when you make something that's entertaining and has somewhat of a message, whatever that message may be, I think it's a whole thing altogether. So, thank you Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate something in life. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.